Says Gleek Johnson going live. I've been away from YouTube for a few months doing other things, but I'm back. Oh, let me talk about this shirt here. This shirt, I just found this. This I had this packed down in a box in a storage unit. The storage. So I look at this box and stuff. I say, "Wow, I haven't been these here in years. Let's go to the Salvation Army or to the Goodwill." I decided to open this box up and I saw this shirt. I got this shirt for a day, man, from 2002. So when I went to the Speedway, Speedway, I call Motor Speedway, in Texas some years ago, maybe like 2 decades ago. Wow. So I said, let me keep this one. Look at that. It's still in good condition. I never really wore a shirt. Never even wore a shirt. That's how it's sitting there in the box. But I just spotted it tonight. Say, wow, it looks good. Anyway, let me get down to the topic at hand. I was going at the track and field conferences championship weekend pass, and it was very competitive. The athletes put on a great show, great performance for their various different conferences and schools. Take my hats off to all the athletes who participate. But I will take the time out to go over the 4x4 relays from 4 different conferences. And I will start off here with the Sun Belt TNF champs. That's the Sun Belt Conference. The Sun Belt Conference is a smaller conference to compare with all the other conferences I'm going to cover. But not because it is the Sun Belt and a smaller conference does not mean that they don't have great athletes. Okay? Now for the 4x4 of the Sun Belt Conference, we had Coastal Carolina, who won the 4x4 in a spectacular fashion. They were great. They were off the chain. And they were number one, finishing in that conference and their championships in the time of 3:34.43. That's competing. That's running. UT Arlington, second place, 3:37.14. Take my hats off to that school. That's a real good time. Those kids put a good performance. ULM, 341.78. Troy, 342.57. Louisiana, 348.89. South Alabama, 349 flat. There we have their Little Rock, 349.28. And the eighth place over there will be App State, 349.83. Not bad at all. And ninth place in that division, that conference, will be Arkansas State at 350.49. Now, although the Sun Belt was the weakest on all the other conference, they do have great athletes that come with their conferences or that conference to represent their country on the big stage. Now, we can go back just a few years ago. Melissa Jefferson, who won the U.S. trials, she's from the She is from the Sun Belt. Her school is Coastal Carolina, and she is a gold medalist for the United States. Just a little bit of history on that division or that conference. Now we're gonna move over to the Pac-12 ladies 4x4. Well, all of the 4x4s, this whole topic will be about the ladies 4x4 in all four conference. Okay, the Pac-12 is consists of schools like Arizona, Washington State, be Pacific, California, Washington, Oregon State, Arizona State, USC, UCLA, Stanford, Oregon, Colorado, Utah. That's some pretty big names. Now, in their championships, USC was top dog. That they were in the second heats for that. Of course, it was a big field, so there are two not heats, two stages. As a matter of fact, that's what every conference had, two stages, because there are lots of schools who qualified for the finals. So it was a time finals. You could run in the first stage and still win everything, or second stage, it's a time finals. Okay, but USC was top dog in the Pac-12 with a winning time of 330.83. That's pretty hot. That's fire. You know, that's giving some flames, stepping up some flames. Not bad at all. That's spectacular to me. And many other schools say, wow, they put the hammer down. Now, UCLA at 333.66 for second place in our conference. You know, UCLA used to be the top dog in the 80s when it comes to California teams. You know, but over the years, more schools have get competitive. Stanford, which was third, we had a time of 334.35. And all of them is from the second stage of the finals. Because if you look at this, 1 through 6, they all is from the second stage, versus the other six, which in the first stage will start from 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 9, 10 will be for second stage. So it looked like they put all the elite schools in the second stage from that conference. I think. I don't know. I'm not official, but just looking at the names. And Oregon State, which will be fourth, with a 335.30. Colorado, Oregon. Colorado, 336.99. Then we go down here to Utah with a 339.02. That's sixth place. Arizona, fourth, 339.48. Washington State, Irish going to be seventh, sorry, with 339.48. Washington State will be eighth, 340.02. And California will be ninth at a 340.68. Don't need to go no further than that. That's where I stop at. The Pac-12 is one of the big conferences. And I would like to see when it comes down to the nationals and all of them have to compete to get us one, how this is going to play out. Now, Melissa Jefferson, sorry, the young lady Jackson Jefferson, when she was in school, she blowed away the field from the Coastal Carolinas in indoors. But all these top conference now competing together for the nationals. She whooped them up in the 60 from the Sun Belt. They said I'm talking about don't think because you're from the Sun Belt that you cannot compete with these big name schools. Okay, let's move on. The Big 12. The Big 12 is consists of schools like Texas. That's the University of Texas. Iowa, Texas Tech. Oklahoma, Oklahoma State. Baylor, TCU. Kansas State. That's schools in the Big 12. Now, Texas, University of Texas. That is a top tier school all around. They are top dogs. Okay? But in the 4x4, they did not put their A team to compete. That's how deep University of Texas is with the ladies 4x4, the ladies 400-meter runners. They use their second string to let all of their athletes compete for their squad. And with the second string, they still won first place in the Big 12. That's incredible. Now, as we know, a lot of athletes go pro from track and field very early now. The new world of doing this stuff. So by Texas using their second string to win the Big 12, whilst the other schools had their first string competing. That's big volume for Texas for next year. if they losing some of the first string to the pro level at the end of the season. Okay, so Texas won that. The University of Texas won that in the time of 30.38. Not bad at all. That's super. Iowa came in second with a time of 31.02. Texas Tech, third with the time of 33.83. Now, winning the Big 12 and the Pac 12, both teams run 330. Texas run 330, 38. USC run 330, 83. Look at that. Not bad, huh? Pretty close. Now we go to Texas Tech was third, 333, 83. Oklahoma, 335, 53. Oklahoma State, 336, 51. Baylor, seventh. No, Baylor was sixth with a 337, 31. Now, Baylor fell off a little bit because Baylor always has been a 4x4 school from the 80s. But I would say lucky for Baylor for the Nationals. They're going to make a tremendous comeback to prove, hey, we are. And that's why I think Texas, we really have to put in there A squad to compete, not the B squad. Or they have two teams could qualify for the finals. And that'll bring them good points for the championship. Because if they have two for the finals, automatically they get points from two different teams. Because every team bringing a point in the finals, even if just 1 point, it takes just a point to win. So keep that in mind of the other schools. TCU. I love TCU. I just love the Horned Frogs, you know. They ran a time off 337.54. I had a buddy went to TCU. Byron Ferguson. He used to compete in the sprints when I was a high school athlete, doing the middle and long distance. He was a sprinter. He went to TCU, you know. So I was at a I visited the school a few times, you know, and mingled with their athletes, get to know some of their athletes. Matter of fact, I even got to meet and hang out with Raymond Stewart back in the mid '80s, early '80s. He was a sprinter, the number one sprinter, the 100 under 200 meters. He was from Jamaica. Raymond Stewart, him and Byron Ferguson used to be roommates back in the day at TCU. Anyway, let's move on. We have Kansas State, which was eighth with the time of 39.33. And Kansas, ninth with the time of 3:46.63. And Kansas State was a 3:39.33. Okay. Now we can move over to the SEC. The SEC conference. Basically, they're the powerhouse in everything. Basically, they are the, we call them, oh, as a big, humongous person, the Hercules, the Samson. Oh, guess what? No. Yeah, the Hercules, the Samson, they big. Small schools like, small conferences like the Sun Belt try to be a David and different events, but not overall to win the Nationals. Well, the SEC is consists of schools like Vandy, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, Georgia, Ole Miss. I mentioned them already, and they are a powerhouse, a power conference. Okay, Texas A&M. Their ladies 4x4 squad was off the chain. They just was taking no hostages. They just was putting the hammer down. All four ladies run a time of 326.326.64. That is moving. Arkansas, second place, 327.91. Tennessee, come on now, they put that's a 329.98. Kentucky, 330.03. Georgia, 330.20. Florida, 330.86. Wow. I mean, and this all of this came in the second stage of the time finals. They are no joke. That 330.20 was so far better than all the winning times and all other conferences. I tell you, there is no joke. Okay, now we have Vandy 332.29. There was seven. They get Alabama 340, no 334.29. Ole Miss come in ninth with a 337.65. You know, that's running. That conference is off the chain. You know, then if we go and move over to now will be the last conference I could cover. Will be the ACC. Now the ACC consists of schools like Boston College, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Miami, Duke, Clemson, Virginia, Florida State, Pittsburgh. Now, ACC, we all look at them to be as the second strongest conference in sports, athletics, college athletics, next to the SEC. Now, the ladies, the ladies in the ACC 4x4, they were they stepped up to the plate. The University of Miami, number one, they did a magnificent job in holding off Duke again for the championship. They are they won the indoors too at the line fighting with Duke, but this outdoor championship was more wide open. They didn't neck and neck to the finish line trying to win. Miami win it convincingly. Cannot wait to see the championship, the NCAA champs, and see how they're going to perform when they have all the big conferences coming together to win one gold medal. That's going to be very exciting to see the ladies 4x4 at the NCAA championships. Okay, Miami was first in the ACC with a time of 328.30. Duke, could have a good fight. Again, 329.95. Clemson, 332.86. Virginia, 335.76. Florida State, 335.79. Florida State almost had them, but we'll check them out in the championships for the NCAA. And Pitt, 336.55. Man, we got to take our hats off to all those young ladies who competed for their schools. They did a wonderful job, and hopefully that they did a spectacular job to attract more top tier athletes to the various different conferences and schools. That is the goal of competing on a big stage, especially nowadays in this modern times. You can see everybody on YouTube. Other than in my day, if your school was in the say the Sun Belt, you never be heard of or be seen. I'll even say even the Pac-12. It wasn't around back then, but smaller tiers like that will never be on the television because we really had ABC, NBC, the small, where we have, networks or none of these other networks that are so wide open. We ain't had them type of stuff. Wide World of Sport was where everything was shown to us. I can't remember what channel that used to be. Can't remember that long time ago. Anyway, after going over all of the different conferences and the various different times, and matter of fact, I watched each and every one of these races. Not once, not twice, again and again. Just looking to see how the ladies receive the button, how they switch different hands to get a better momentum to move, and to see how the crowd respond to the athletes competing. The other teammates who are on the field getting ready for their event, the teammates and the fans in the stand, I mean the teammates in the stand, the fans in the stand, how they cheer on these athletes to push them, to show them that, hey, you all are appreciative for your hard effort, your work ethic that you put in to make this happen. But I looked at the top 15 times that happened over the weekend. And during this little segment here, I keep saying how certain conferences are powerhouse, and that's just for being from the top of my head, you know, going over and watching sports and from my competing years. The SEC really is the big elephant in the room. I didn't realize that. They have out of the top 15, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 top times in all four conferences. They are the top dogs. Again, let me check and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Okay, anyway. Number one in the 4 by 400 meters over the weekend for the ladies. Number one school was Texas A&M with the time of 3:26.64 from the AC from the SEC conference. Arkansas number two from the SEC conference, 3:27.91. Number three, the University of Miami, Go Canes, ACC, 3:28.30. Duke, number four, ACC, 3:29.95. Tennessee, SEC, 3:29.98. Kentucky, SEC, 3:30.03. They were number six. Number seven, Georgia, SEC, 3:30.20. Man, they done took up first seven top times. They got five already. Yes. Okay, move on. University of Texas, the Big 12. They came away with 3:30.38. But we must keep in mind they did not use their A team. The A team is much better than all these other times so far. I don't think I said why they did not use the A team, simply because they did already won the females title. And convincingly, don't care what happened with the 4x4, they still was going to win the title. So they're ladies who run and still win the gold for the University of Texas. They still run the and beat everybody in the conference. So they are off the chain. Look out for the Nationals. The University of Texas will have two teams in the finals. Look out. Now, number 9 overall for all the conferences that competed was USC from the Pac-12 at 330.83. Florida SEC 330.86. To get Iowa from the Big 12 331.02. Get Vandy SEC 332.29. We have Clemson at three. No, sorry, Clemson from the ACC at 332.86. That's 332.86. UCLA, Big 12, no, Pac 12, 333.66. It was 14 overall. Now, 15, Texas Tech, Big 12, 333.83. That's the top 15 schools or the top 15 times that the four biggest conference in the NCAA did over the past weekend. Again, I take my hats off to those young ladies, and I cannot wait to see the championship. This pillow here, and it's nice. This is a picture of Miss Johnson. My daughter, our daughter, made this. It's beautiful. Oh, forget this one. Me and mom's. It is beautiful. I love it. But it's supposed to have been me here. But I guess he goes on the back. It's supposed to be one with my wife, one with me. They split me in half of the Y. They put on both sides. Look at that. But it's still beautiful. I love it. Come on. Okay, get back there. Anyway, oh, that's what they did for me. Beautiful, eh? I don't know if my daughter still make these, but if you like it, you see it, you want it, just hit me up on my YouTube page and we'll see what we can do. Okay? Anyway, that will be the end of this segment here. And next Monday at 10:30, I'll be here again. Uh-oh, upside downward. That's why I be sometimes upside downward in my head. And we'll try to make this every Monday thing at 10:30. Sports talk, track and field. That's my sport of choice. I love it. Okay? And we'll call it the end of Mr. Gleek Sports Talk. Next Monday, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the next skit. Until then, we'll call this a good night for now. Let me see. Wow. It been on for almost 41 minutes. We had this one going. And let's see how we did for views. Well, we got two persons on at this time. Hey, appreciate you for coming in, taking the time. If it was just one, you still be appreciative. This is the first segment, the first one show. There'll be many more to come. We'll be doing this every Monday at 10:30. Join us. It will get bigger and better. With your support, the fans out there, the audience, the public, we will get better and we will get bigger to bring on the best show we can do. Just tune in, hang in there with us. We'll make it work. Mr. Gleek, signing out. Thank you all very much who stopped by to share the time and those who will stop by to watch it on YouTube. Just, hey, show your likes, subscribe, whatever the case may be. Leave a comment. Be glad to hear from you. That would help us exercise to bring better contents to you guys, to the public. This again, this Mr. Gleek. Appreciate you all. Peace out.